There we go. Anyway, welcome back, Matt.
Welcome back,
Uh,
Ken.
dude, I think it's funny. Welcome to Over the Fence with Matt and Ken. I'm Ken, and you
I'm
are.
Matt.
Yes,
And
Matt.
this is episode like
Five,
5.2.
five-ish. No, no, no. We've done about five. We have five.
Yeah.
This will be the fifth in the hole. We've done probably like 15. But after my little rant the other day, I don't think we wanted to upload that one, so we had to redo it. And thank you, Verizon, for the internet going out. So are you? Oh,
Um,
so anyway, man, I was
that's media policy here.
so anyway, let's talk about the school shooting in Georgia. I don't know where. I just know it's like an hour outside of Atlanta. They
It's
said.
Gwinnett County, so I
When
I
okay.
I thought that was near Columbus, actually. Hey, you know what? I can do it.
Well,
Google
no,
it.
no, I'm
But
sorry. No, no. They said it was an hour. It was an hour in between Atlanta and shoot. Wasn't Savannah. It was one of those other big cities in Georgia.
yeah, let's see.
But I
Where
will
is
say
that?
this: I was lecturing in class yesterday, and it was real weird. It was weird.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
like,
outside of Atlanta. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no. And I was lecturing on. I had brought this up in the lecture about how we have these school shootings now, and we just kind of it's like any and I remember saying to the students, it's just another Wednesday.
Yeah, get
And
your thought and prayers out of that quick draw holster and shoot them
oh
over
yeah,
to the wherever you got to put them.
yeah. Did you hear?
Boo-boo!
Did you? I know Marjorie Taylor Greene was getting mutilated because she was like thoughts and prayers because I guess that's in Georgia.
She wasn't
She's a
getting literally
congresswoman.
mutilated. Oh, you mean
Well, she
metaphorically?
was being humiliated
That's
because
too
people were
bad.
like,
I thought she'd been mauled by
no,
some kind of creature. Okay.
well, because her whole thing is thoughts and prayers, and people are like, we're tired of your thoughts and prayers.
Right.
You
There needs
guys
to be
do
something.
nothing,
She could do
and
thoughts and prayers before she was a legislator. When I
yeah,
hear legislators give, I'm like, I and both sides are guilty for it. Here on both sides, and
yeah, of course, yeah,
I hate it. But I mean, it is
yeah.
one side that's promoting the thing that
Well,
I do want to get into it because
yeah,
it bothers
that's why I
me.
brought it up.
There's one through line through all these shootings because we're gonna hear there's gonna be mental health is a problem even though he hasn't been diagnosed. And especially the dead ones haven't been diagnosed, but it's a mental health problem. Oh, he's motivated by this political ideology. Oh, he likes this. He had this bumper sticker. The motivation has changed from shooting to shooting to shooting if we ever knew one. But there's
Yeah,
only one through line in all the shootings.
well,
The shooting device. The
yeah, you're
device
right.
that shoots the bullets is the
Yeah,
through line in all the shootings.
yes.
I don't know why that's such a controversial point. Well, I mean, I know why. It's because we have to
Well,
detract from the actual problem and address something that's inconsequential.
yeah, yeah. And all I know is they said that the FBI, I guess, went and visited the family. The dad said that the son didn't have, there was guns, but he didn't have access to them. This was
Stop,
last
sir.
year.
Stop, sir. Evidence against that is the access he had to the gun that he shot. So,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
but
no,
with reality, not you. I'm
yeah,
talking.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
I'm
I was
not
the
just,
FBI.
I'm just saying the FBI went to the house last year,
Oh,
and so
oh.
no, they did.
So he
You
was
didn't
a
get that
problem
part.
at 13? No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
no. So there's more to the story. He was a problem at 13. There was a problem with this kid. One thing I don't like to do when we talk about school shootings is I don't like talking about the race of the child.
no, I don't
I
think why that matters.
because I don't think it matters because
Again,
we'll have
motivations, race,
yeah,
age, it runs the
it's
gamut, but they
it's
all had to have a gun.
yeah well and gender tends to be the same, but
They do tend to be men, but again, a woman
yeah
can shoot.
no they
It
can
will be a woman
but
eventually.
but but but
They'll
but
break that
usually
glass ceiling with a
but
gun.
no 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 let's no because it's a real issue in America with
No, it
men.
is. It is. It is.
And then when you have something at over 90 something percent, it's of one gender. That's the issue we do need to be really discussing.
If the issue was 90% women, boy, would we have it solved.
Oh, if it was 90% black people or 90% Latinos or Asian, if it was 90% something else, we would
Other
really
than
be.
other than me,
No, no, I'm serious. Because I
I
think I
know.
think I think old conservative white people are afraid of any others. If it was others doing it, they would be afraid.
But that's what happened. That's why we had gun legislation is because they said everybody gets a gun, and the Black Panthers were like, "Here we are," and they were
Exactly.
like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
time for some rules."
Here in
No,
California, yeah,
yeah,
that's when, yeah, you're right. When they saw a bunch of black men who were doing it, then it's like, oh shoot, they're so
If it ain't
and
white, it
so
ain't
that's the only
right.
thing I want to say about that as far as
Yeah.
race. But there
I
is
actually don't know. Is it like what he is?
there is an epidemic in America with young men. Well, no, I do know the data is over like 95.
No. With this kid, what this kid is.
Oh, I know what he is, but I don't care.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't
He's
matter.
a 14-year-old who took a gun that his
He's the
father
next
said,
shooting. Yeah,
well, that his father said he didn't have access to, but somehow he got access. So there's multiple questions I got to ask you.
sure. Yeah.
One, the kid is the problem. They're gonna try him as an adult. He killed 4 people, 2 young boys who two of his colleagues in school, and then 2 teachers. That and should the parents be held responsible?
Well, so woo. I I lean towards, and I'm open to arguments against, but I lean towards holding the parents responsible as well because you know it's not a set of car keys. Your kid, like your kid didn't
Yeah,
grab the car keys and take the car and run over somebody else.
yeah, yeah,
That'd be bad. But it's like, okay, kids can get car keys. This is a gun. It's not a
yeah.
set of car keys. It doesn't
No,
drive people anywhere. It has one purpose. So
yeah,
he
yeah,
had access. Now, sir, if it's the father in question, you, sir, are responsible. That's your gun that was unsecured.
yeah.
Boom.
Well, yeah, and I'm with you. I think it's a nuanced question personally because I think if the
Yeah.
parents didn't know the kid had a gun, when I was probably I think I was in middle school, and I was taking a bus to a private school that I was going to, and I hated going to private school. I like public school better, but I was going to a private school, and there was a kid that came from the high school that was down the street from my private school, and I was walking to the bus, and he asked me one day if I wanted to buy a gun from him. He was kind of scary. So I said yes, because I like a kid who was going to a private school in my private school
I would
uniform.
absolutely love to buy a gun
Yeah,
from you, sir. Okay, how did you walk into a
exactly.
dare ad? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, exactly. And it was funny because the day I was supposed to buy it from him was my last day at that school because I was going back to the public school because I begged my grandma to send me back to public school. And so
There's
I
so
went
many
back
guns
to the
on the
public
corner
school.
outside the other school.
Huh? Well, the
Good
thing
work.
was he did. I didn't go to the same high school. I went to the high school across town, but I never saw that kid again. But I thought if I would have bought that gun, nobody in my house would know I have the gun.
That's right.
So
So I understand, like so I think if the gun it's going to so before I go into what I think the technicalities on a law like that would be, I think what would happen is that law would go into the "we'll use this against minorities later" file.
yeah.
Like that's a trump up charge kind of charge. Like I
Oh,
feel
I see what
like
you're saying. Yeah,
what it would be like is like, okay, um we entered this house on
yeah,
weird circumstance, but here we are, we're in the house now, and when we were searching the house near the child's bedroom, we found a gun that's unsecured, so that falls under the law we're making up, that was the Gwinnett County shooting
yeah,
law, because parents have to be held accountable. That's how it'll be used. So like I think it's a good idea. I think parents should be
yeah.
having to
Like
secure
the
their weapons,
parents.
but it'll just yeah.
Well, like the parents up in Michigan, the
Right,
Ethan Crumbly's parents.
right,
Yeah,
right.
like because mom was sending him text messages of encouraging him to be just to
Your
be
last name's
himself.
Crumbly. Open a bakery. What the fuck? Come on. You're missing your callings, people.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah,
Crumbly
no.
cookies. We don't sell guns here. No one's died.
But I will say this:
Delicious.
they put out his name immediately. Like
The
normally
the
they
Gwinnett County
cover,
kid,
yeah, the kid who did the school
they need
shooting.
to not release the names of children. I don't care if you're trying them as an adult. And I'll get into that too. I don't
Okay,
understand.
go ahead, tell me
If it's
why.
an adult crime, okay. We always charge kids as adults if it's an adulty type crime. And is that literally, they're like, it's adulty. It's like porn. You'll know it when you see it.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that seems
yeah.
like um I don't get that. I don't like, so it's so you couldn't, why do we distinguish between adults and children if we're not going to distinguish between adults and children? I can see that a child has done an adult act, but like, we'll go back to the car. Kid, 7-year-old steals a car. We're now like Are we charging him with, reckless driving, and you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
no,
I don't
this
know because there's a difference between
well, so
but there's a difference between a 7-year-old and a 14.
okay.
But there's a developmental difference.
Is there a developmental difference between there's a developmental difference between an 18-year-old and a 26-year-old? But we decided that you like until you're okay.
18.
Yeah, 18, and then but other states have their weird laws because they love to
Yeah.
fuck children.
No.
But
And
generally, 16 is like adult and up, and everything before that is child, except if that person who we've all agreed can't have responsibility because they're a child does something scary that an adult would do, then they're now an adult and are treated like they should have the responsibility and brain power of an adult, but they don't. But they did something that an adult did that would be evil, so they do. It doesn't square. And I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like, let's let kid, if you're under 16 and you murder a family, you get to fucking go to the happy farm. I'm just saying, is there a difference or is there not between children and adults?
And again, it's arbitrary, and you cannot stop people from putting his name out if people who were there saw him with the gun. If there was look, because there's going to be a camera somewhere, and somebody will say, Jack Smith, arbitrary name, did this thing.
Not the guy investigating.
So, and the first, and look, dude, and I'll say this: ever since TMZ got to release Michael Jackson had died before all the rest of the media did, everybody's trying to be the first. CNN, MSNBC, all the news agencies that are who I say are reputable. Even they played the game of we're trying to be the first to get the news out. We want to break the story.
Yeah, look what it took to stop media organizations from releasing the names of shooters. They were like, stop giving them the notoriety. Stop.
Yeah,
but it's hard to get them on board. But on the the childhood, like, okay, if having a child, physically birthing a child, and getting married, those are two adult things. But if an adult gets a child and marries them and impregnates them, we don't, treat the child as an adult, even though they're in an adult circumstance, because we recognize they can't consent. We recognize that we like, we don't.
But again,
them an adult. But if a kid does a violent, terrible thing, you're an adult now because you must. I just don't understand it. I'm not. I can't square that circle. So,
well, see,
I have no solutions.
I think when everything you're talking about to me, I think everything you're saying to me is apples and oranges. If that makes sense.
I can see comparing marriage to, but I mean, like, that's why I thought about the childbirth thing, because that is an issue, because children have been having babies quite a bit more often than not lately, with the recent abortion shenanigans. So there's going to be a lot more kids having babies. I don't know. I feel like the lines of adulthood, and I'm not attributing this to charging as adult, but there's a big
poor people.
There's a big move on the right to adultify children because they like marrying children, and they
well, and let's be clear, they already do that with children of color.
Yes.
They already do that with children of color. Let's be real. I mean,
a 12-year-old, they're handcuffing like 8-year-old girls, saying they're,
I thought she was 16. And I thought she was 16.
I thought she was 16. Well, you're dumb as a box of bricks. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid if you're not racist. But I'm pretty sure you're racist.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. Well, and at least you have some kind of weird bias against certain groups of people.
Right.
And so So
good. We nailed it.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I guess we both agree that so what would be your answer to this? Like more rigid gun laws? Because look, conservatives what they're going to argue is mental health. Like you said, it's going to be a mental health argument. Which I'm all like, okay, we can have both of these.
Okay, so let's throw lots of money at it. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
If the right is being intellectually honest, which they're not, about the problem, and they think it's mental health, what I don't know how far back, Columbine, have we seen anything?
No. And it's funny. I was watching. I think I was watching CNN and Abby Phillips. You know, she's very monotone, but you know, I was watching a clip of what she was saying, and she was like, "I thought after Parkland we would have done something." I was like, "I thought after Newtown we would have done something." When they went into that, when that kid went into that school with 5-year-olds, I'm sorry, nothing was going to happen after Parkland because we didn't do anything after the 5-year-olds were killed.
Other countries
So,
have the incident. Australia has the incident, and then they changed their gun laws. They didn't have it.
oh yeah,
And I'm not gonna fuck up and try to name other ones, but I know Australia did it. But like they
no,
have
you're right.
the incident, and they're like that. No,
Yeah, no, and you're right. And when as Americans, we like to say we're the best and blah blah blah, and
yeah,
we
I
like to
love
compare
it.
ourselves
We're very
to
exceptional.
first world nations and stuff. And the reality is, um, we got a lot of problems.
We have
You know,
we have scores of problems. You know, any big fucking hegemon's gonna have them, but we don't address them. Or what was it
yeah,
Churchill said? Americans will choose the right option after they've exhausted all other possibilities, or something like that. You know, it's just
yeah. No, you're right. You're
and we
right.
take too long, and that's why climate change is breaking us down. It's time to start dooming. Let's do it. Uh, is because we don't address problems because
Yeah,
the ruling class is more interested in this is, you know, this is broad and silly, but like they're more
yeah,
the retention of power is more important than what is done with the power. I saw that the most out of just you know, liberals who I would talk to, and they're like, well, you know, we can't do that, we can't do this, because if we do that, we won't get elected. And it's like, okay, but that's what we want you to do when elected. If you can't do the things we need you to do when you're elected because you won't get elected, well, then this politician is more interested in being elected than it is in doing the
oh
things.
yeah.
We, the
So
people, are more
yeah,
interested in the things. So there's a disconnect in between what we expect to happen and what's feasible politically. But often what's politically feasible is given far more attention than what is necessary societally.
yeah, yeah. No, and you're right. I mean, it's like this is, and I agree. Like the thing with abortion, I'm gonna be honest. I was never really I never really, when I was younger, I was more involved. I cared more. But as I've gotten older, and it's like, I'm at an age, I'm not trying to have kids at almost 50,
Yeah.
you know? But the reality is, so I didn't have a horse in the race. And I would even tell my students during lectures when we go into the abortion discussion. But I realized the health care, access to health care that's connected to abortion. It's not just about abortion.
Hell no.
It's
No.
reproductive rights.
It's
It's
a
a whole
very
other,
small one
oh
digit
yeah,
percentage of what they
yeah,
do.
yeah. But
Yeah.
see, but see, conservatives have hijacked that and they make it about
They got it so that a guy like you who's politically knowledgeable,
yeah,
to say the least, but when you were younger wasn't interested in the subject,
yeah,
so you were hearing rhetoric that was untrue, but you
yeah,
know, it just has the air of truth. And I did the same thing where it's like, oh well, that sounds true enough, and then that becomes kind of part of your worldview, and it's very incorrect, but
yeah, yeah.
it's
No,
useful.
I'm telling you,
You can
man, I'm
get
telling you.
those nets catch the dolphins. You know, they get
Well, I'm
everybody.
telling you, I had students who did a presentation. It was like 3 female students, and when they talked about abortion and it was so weird because it was about access to clinics and being able to get a pap smear. I was like, what? They were like, oh, it's so much more than just an
Yeah,
abortion.
I
And when you
found,
cut off
yeah,
that funding, you're cutting it off for lower
everybody.
class people, the working class, people who don't have insurance. And what I don't get is like people who are Trump supporters, like they don't understand. Do they think
Their
that one
support is
day they're
faith
going to
based.
be?
It's faith
They're
based.
usually the ones that are the have-nots.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think one day you're going to have all this stuff?
These were all the questions that were answered in 2016. Is like, will people to the grave vote against their own interests? Yes, yes, they will. Yes, they will. And COVID proved it.
Why do you think that is?
Because being correct and being part of your tribe and believing and having faith is far more important than anything material. Um, the majority of this country is Christian, and Christianity, to a large extent, is a death cult. I say that with no
Oh yeah, I agree.
disrespect. So like,
No. I agree.
if this world is not the final stop, I see people in the land that, they'll be like, America, the beautiful, driving through the Rockies, and just fucking chuck trash out. Just try. I've seen so I was driving with a fellow soldier. He's out now. He's since been deceased, but we were driving around. We were both in the Army. We decided to, not in uniform. It was a weekend. We decided to drive around, and he fucking chucked a McDonald's out the shit. He looks at me and he goes, "Oh, you hate that, don't you?" I was like, "Bro, like, why don't you? Like, why are you chucking shit?" So that's the mentality. It's like, this isn't important. We have dominion over this. It's in the big book. We have dominion over this place, and it's not the final stop. The final stop, the train's going that way. So fuck this joint.
But in the big book, it says you're supposed to take care of the things that God blesses.
No. That's the hard stuff. Only pick out the easy pages. Want to make sure. I want all the pictures. I want all the pages with pictures on them where it says, you get what you want. Poor people are bad. It says give to the poor, but not if they need it.
Well, and I think that's
give to the poor to make so you get to heaven. Don't give to the poor because they need.
A lot of the issue is, you just hit on it. You talk about the picture book. That's the problem. They're too busy looking at the picture, and for a lot of them, and I'm talking about evangelicals, the picture is not an accurate depiction of who he was and what he looked like.
Yeah,
and so.
Yeah, exactly. The picture, white Jesus. The idea of a white Jesus.
You said it, not me.
It's silliness. But he's not. Nobody's white over there.
No, dude, it's blasphemous. It's totally blasphemous.
It's nuts.
I just was
fucking this Aryan cat up there.
Like, yeah. Well, I'm taking a break from social media because I was debating with somebody today because somebody shared a picture of a lady. I guess she has a TV show. It's a right-wing TV show, and she's dating this guy who basically is against who's in favor of abortion. She's against abortion, and she's making an argument for abortion. And her dad's like, "Why are you dating him?" Blah blah blah. And they made the guy who was pro-choice look like an idiot. And it's like, the writing on this show was it's a right wing
show. But even when they try, they fail. They actually managed to make them look dumb.
They did make They made them look stupid.
Wow.
They did. They made them look stupid because the wording she used. I was going to share it today. I might share it next time. But her wording, and I was like, oh, this is how they trap people. And she was using her religion as an excuse to behave the way she was behaving. And the guy ends up leaving. They break up. He leaves because I don't know how people hold a relationship together like that. That's crazy. Oh no, dude! This is what I'm telling you about my friend. I don't want to keep bringing this up every time we have this discussion, but this is.
We'll bring it out until we smooth this issue out, man. It will resolve itself. No,
but I'm just making a point because you just said I don't understand. That was the issue with my friend.
Right?
How are you, as a white guy, running up to Alaska, thinking you're going to change the minds of Alaskans? I told him, I was like, dude, you run to the whitest places in America. And then you think, and then he'll think that it won't affect his thought process. But then you come back and tell me I'm trying to bring both sides together. And I'm sitting there like, who are you trying to bring? MAGA and everybody else. Well, no. MAGA wants to make sure my history, that my people who look like me who participated in history did not exist. They don't want us even talking about that stuff. They want to make sure people who look like me can't even go to college.
Yeah.
They want to make sure they want to make America great again, you dumb fuck.
I think absolutely. I think there's people that kind of want to have it all.
Why is that? But what is that? Well,
I equate it to like,
is it a white savior thing?
Probably. That's got a lot to do with it. A lot of white guilt shit. I know when I joined the army, I didn't agree with the Iraq war and joined the army.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, there was an earthquake.
Oh,
you didn't feel it on your side of the street. It was just me. So
on your side of the fence. On your side of the fence.
Yeah, it doesn't happen over there. It's a fault line. So I dropped a napkin. Full disclosure. So, but no. When I joined, I was against the Iraq war, but I was like, oh, I'll make sure that it's fuck. This is going to sound so stupid to say because it was stupid to think. So I'm going to recount it. I was like, oh, I'll go over there and I'll join and I'll do it right. And it'll be more just because guess what? I did not change the organization over 12 years.
No, and you're not.
So it's that idea, like, it's
But
youth.
but you know what, Matt? With you, you have a stronger personality than my homeboy does.
Sure,
You
but I
did,
mean the motivation is the same.
but and I get it. But you also have a stronger personality. So if you went to Alaska, you and your wife moved to Alaska, I can come visit you in 2 years, and I don't think you would be talking like them.
No, I wouldn't.
This
But there would
fool,
be exactly as many clan meetings there. Like I would not change
well,
anything.
exactly.
Like,
But this fool would move up there, and in a couple, like he was telling me, I, dude, he's as progressive as you are, and he's always been this way. This guy told me straight up in a conversation, I think I'm conservative. What the fuck?
about what?
He was
Money?
he was talking about just in general. He doesn't know this, so if he ever listens, he'll know this now. We have a mutual friend. I told the mutual friend started laughing. He would start laughing. He's like, he's never been concerned. He's all, we were raised in San Francisco. I was like, hello.
So what
He's
changed in
more,
his life that, like, he
huh?
said he moved to Alaska?
He
Because I
he
want to watch this transformation because it's interesting.
I
You
don't
say
know.
you got
I
lefty
think he
McGee,
yeah,
and
I
now
just
where do you
think
go?
he's always been a follower. And when we kind of separated for a while, he always followed me. And I think when we separated for a while, he was on his own. So then he got around because I saw the people he hanging out with. The guy's 45. He's hanging out with people who are like in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I'm like, well, this is why he's a fucking MAGA. He's hanging out
Yeah.
with the Golden Girls. He's at Shady fucking Pines. He's playing what, bingo. This is what he's doing with his life. It's fucking sad.
As a hanger outer of people who are in, septuagenarians,
But
they're
that's not
different
your
ones. But
entire
I know all the
that's not your
difference.
entire friend group.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's you.
Exactly. This fool, when I saw the picture of the people, I was like, who the fuck are you
So
hanging
he's
out
out
with?
there on the
Where's
retirement
Dorothy? I
cruise.
was looking for Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche.
Yeah, I'm not expecting like some 80-year-old biddy from Dayton to be super prog or anything.
Yeah. And he made sure to tell me, oh, the people I rented a place from, they were black. I was like, oh, they're probably the only black people you saw while you were there, too. And he was like, well, yeah. I said, well, then shut up, dude.
I mean, it's Alaska. Like,
Yeah, like I don't know why he went there, whatever. He's one of those people, I think you would be one of these people too, that because it's like dark, like 10 months out of the 12-month year, most of the day, he can't be there too long, so he has to come back.
yeah,
But
there's no way I could do it. I
anyway,
need the sun out. I mean, I don't want to be out in it, but I need it to be out.
no,
And I need the beach close. I don't want to go, but it needs to be
yeah,
close.
but I think also for you too, I think it would affect your mood too if you didn't. See, it wouldn't bother me. I can live in Alaska. I can't live in Alaska because of the people that are there. I might be able to live with the natives. I might be able to live in a native community, but like I can live in Washington State and it's overcast and it rains most of the time. I could do that. It wouldn't bother me.
You know what I find
in
embarrassing?
fact, I would like it.
Well, are you leaving?
No, I'm not going
Okay,
anywhere.
good, because that's
I
we
know,
can't afford the
I like
bandwidth.
no, I love where we live. Like, dude, right now we're having a heat wave. It's like 87, but other places
Yes,
in other places are 115.
it's not going
And
to
I'm
get
complaining.
better.
I'm complaining at the 87 degree, but also this will only last what 4 or 5 days, and then we go back to 50-degree weather. The high will be 72. So I'm not complaining. I'm. It's hot, but I'm not really complaining that much.
Have we just figured something out? Hold on.
What?
If we get the right wing to attach their racism
Yeah.
to left-wing environmentalism, there might be room to move. Walk with me here.
Let's hear this.
If we convince some right-wing politicians, we sit them down and we tell them, look, guys, I know you can't say climate change is real because you'll get lynched, but we'll pose it to them this way. If the world gets hotter, when the world gets hotter and there's more sun, people are going to get darker. So in the interest of a lack of white replacement, it is in your personal interest to your lily white skin not to let the sun burn those petals. Baby, we got to do something. We could really get them out there.
Yeah,
green,
no, dude.
KKK and green hoods.
Yeah. Now you asking those
You're
people?
idiots, baby.
and those people don't think very much. Uh, I guess as we kind of just like transition away from the school shooting, and we went, and again, it's always my fault because I didn't go off on
I
my
blame it all
tangent.
on you. You are my Eve.
Uh, what do we think of the Trump campaign at Arlington Cemetery?
Oh yeah, here, let me share screen because I just
Yeah, that
the
was
rules
funny.
are so clearly delineated. It's just it's not going to be anything. It's it has that smell. How many times have we said if this was any other president,
Yeah,
whatever, or former president? But so that you can Google Arlington Cemetery, and what pops up
uh,
will be their website, and you can just click. I'll share here. Oh geez, here comes a boomer trying to share. There it is. His screen. Here we go. Okay, share it. Okay, so this is how easy it is to find out what you're supposed to do. Trump's
yeah,
press people. Oh look,
uh,
just like everything in the military, there's a regulation for it every time. Here it is. And it says it's not incredibly long. It's 9 pages and it says everything you need to do or not do. And it's all said there in plain English. The problem was the Trump campaign wanted to go to a specific place called Area 60 or 60, Section 60. Yeah. And that's where they keep the recently deceased from, or the deceased from the Afghanistan pullout. He wanted to get some B-roll there to put on campaign material to, show how bad Biden is because, and then, by contrast, Trump is good therefore. So he
was using that to the pullout of Afghanistan, which Donald Trump was in charge of initially, but go ahead.
It was the plan had been in place since the Obama administration. It was never a good plan. It was just who was going to take that kick in the nuts.
Yeah. Well,
Trump
famously don't like no. Let's be clear though. But Donald Trump had the meeting with the Taliban.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He's the one that signed the little deed.
He did the May deadline.
And he chose the date, the actual date. Right. And when did Biden pull out? Was Biden? I mean,
Biden did it in September because they had missed the deadline because Trump pushed, because it got pushed. But yeah, the point is like it was never going to go well.
It just wasn't. This was a question I asked my students too about this because this was brought up in class. And I said to them, what's easier, packing to move or unpacking? And they were like, well, packing to move is harder than unpacking. Unpacking's easy. I said, exactly. So leaving Afghanistan was going to be logistically harder than dropping all your stuff in Afghanistan. So when we do that, it takes time. I said, now let's be clear. Donald Trump, because H.R. McMaster, he was in the Trump administration, he was a General H.R. McMaster. He even said, look, Biden and Trump failed, and he was in the Trump administration, and it's true. Donald Trump did fail. I want to refrain from saying Obama because when people hear Obama, they Obama really started. No, it was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump. The 50% of that belongs to him. The other 50% belongs to Joe Biden.
It all belongs to George Bush.
You said,
it was anybody's. Anybody could have dropped that football.
Bush.
My point.
George W. Bush and Cheney and
Rumsfeld. Like they could have. That's a whole another bucket of potatoes. I don't
seem like I'm gonna get you going.
No, not get me going. It's just like we had no exit strategy, so our strategy on our exit was shit.
No, it was.
That's just what happened. But it's just who was going to carry? Who was going to be the face of failure? And
but my question is, because the thing is, it's not about Joe Biden or Donald Trump. It's about the office of the presidency. So whoever was in that office at the time and signed that deal, Donald Trump, and you gave the date, anything that the Biden administration did, let's say the Biden administration said we're going to stay 5 years. You can't stay 5 years. You agreed to pull out of the country, regardless if it was Joe Biden or Donald Trump. The president of the United States signed an agreement. We said we were going to leave. But I agree with you. It was going to be a shit show either way. But it was hard to watch people falling from airplanes as they were trying to lift off the ground. That was crazy.
Yeah. Because they didn't. that was the problem with going in, is once you go in and you inundate yourself, there are certain parts of the community that kind of begin to rely on that infrastructure. And, you know, a lot of people there are trying to rebuild a life that was destroyed by the very people that are now leaving them defenseless against the people that destroyed their lives right before the other people destroyed their lives. So, and they're just trying to live. So we drop down and a little economy opens up, and, you know, little shops, you know, you can barter
within the green zone. But go ahead.
Well, there's not like, okay, so the whole idea, people have a very warped idea of what it looked like in Iraq and Afghanistan as far as like what a green zone is and who's where. Generally, if you have a big base, there's going to be a community outside that. And I'm talking about like in the hundreds of people, if not the thousands. Like Bagram, you have tens of thousands of people, but like I've seen it where my first deployment in Afghanistan was my second deployment total, and that was it was just 100 of us guys, just our company, and then some Afghan National Guard or Afghan Army. I don't know, was fucking clear on what they were, but and that's it. And so there's not much of an economy around that because we're not buying a bunch of shit. The only things we were getting was getting dropped in. So it was just farms or nobody. In Iraq,
nowhere.
Yeah, in Iraq, it was different. That was we were kind of on a there's a kind of a main vein running up in the north and south called Red Irish, and it goes all the way to Baghdad. And we were between like Baghdad and Hilla was an embassy, which would have been like Babylon. So we were like in between that anyway, where the Tigris and Euphrates would get close. We were in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so there was stuff, you know, and you know, there were towns. There was a larger town. I can't remember the name of shit. And then, but we would drive around. You could just see that it used to be a place where it was a bustling city center, and now it was just like this kind of
because as long as you obey Saddam Hussein.
But
there,
there while we were there, like the people that lived in those places, those who stayed, set up like shops, or other people came in to try to sell us stuff because there's just nobody else to sell to. There's no way to make a living, and so you get a small community out there. But none of those are green zones. Okay. Like anything you could consider a green zone, I guess, would be like walls that or not walls, but like HESCO barriers, dirt barriers that the military has put up. And then that's a green zone because the military sleeps there. There are safer places than others. Yeah. And the differences are stark.
But also understand too, both Iraq and Afghanistan, you have people in the Bush 2 administration who had no concept of the diversity of Iraq, like Sunni, Shia, and Kurds, and how really Saddam Hussein really kept that under control. It was almost like if you go back to the 80s and the fall of Yugoslavia after Marshal Tito died.
Yeah, it was a dictatorship, but it was a functioning dictatorship, which we disrupted with nothing for the people whose lives we had disrupted. We took, we said, you're not gonna, now you won't burn in this fire, you'll put you in the acid.
Because Iraq was based on a lie.
Right.
And George W. Bush was upset because his father, George H.W. Bush, because remember the first Gulf War, really George H.W. Bush should have won that election against Bill Clinton. He didn't. He lost because Ross Perot was the
bit of a spoiler. It was an amazing. It's amazing now to look back and see such a decisive military conquest not capitalized on. That's
well, because the goal was, but also because I think George H.W. Bush understood remember, he was a CIA guy. He was in charge of CIA.
He was the director. No,
well, he was smarter than his son. He was really, he was CIA.
Okay, yes, he did not set a high bar.
So he understood. He understood that going to Baghdad would destabilize the region, which would in turn, because now think about it. Iran That's why the mess that's going on in Israel and Lebanon, Iran is a big part of that, and it's because Saddam Hussein kept Iran in check.
It was like a Middle East dual hegemony kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. And the United States kept, that's where Iran Contra comes in at. We were propping up Saddam Hussein, but also selling arms to Iran.
Oh, so it's Reagan. Good.
Yeah. So
to that motherfucker every time.
I mean, we can go really deep in this. But,
this is the I don't know if I'm still sharing. This was all I wanted to say about the Trump thing.
But I was going to go back to this. What was the issue? What did Donald Trump? What's the issue? Because I didn't completely understand all. All I knew was they were in a spot. They could be in a spot, but they weren't supposed to take pictures in that spot.
Yeah, he wanted to go to that spot and get campaign material there, but you can't get pictures there because that's not allowed. And right here it says media conduct rule number 2. Well, rule number 1 is, you got to do everything that it says above. Rule number 2, all media must follow the directions of the ANCPAO, the Arlington National Cemetery press, fucking, that person.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The liaison, pay attention to what they say. So their word is law, and they said, you can't take pictures there. And they said, the fuck we can't. And then proceeded to get in an altercation with the person they're not supposed to get in an altercation with.
A physical altercation.
A physical altercation. But it's just like, in just, this comedy of errors that seems to get them. I don't know. It garners them votes from the weirdest people. I don't.
Well, Donald Trump blames everybody else because he was like,
or that he didn't do it.
This is all Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's fault. They're doing this thing to me, and it's like, fool, no, you broke the rules.
Right. It's as simple as that.
I want to share something with you. Speaking of Donald Trump, since we're kind of like talking about the Donald Trump, I was watching Adam Kinzinger on Jimmy Kimmel, and I had to share this.
Let's see it.
I haven't shared this. Okay. Do you see it? Is it being shared? Okay.
Fascinating. I think we have that here. This is last year you wrote about Donald Trump. I'm genuinely surprised how people close to Trump haven't talked about the odor. It's truly something to behold. Wear a mask if you can. Now, what did it smell like specifically?
So if you take like armpits, ketchup, makeup, and a little butt, it's probably like that all mixed up.
And that's the Trump formula?
A little bit of a pungent odor, I would say, yeah.
Okay, I had to share that. Because we were talking about him. And
that's funny.
It is funny. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel was great. At nighttime, I have to give it to the comedians at night. Jimmy Fallon, not so much, because he was in the beginning. He was kissing Donald Trump.
He's a hair tussler. He's a hair tussler.
I can't stand.
No time for that shit.
So yeah, Jimmy Kimmel is my favorite Jimmy because Jimmy Kimmel keeps it at 100.
And consider he split from Adam Carolla, who's gone far right wing. Their career paths have split since the Man Show.
Oh yeah, well, because Adam Carolla was always an asshole. Sorry, he really was. I'm sorry. I don't know him ever not to be an asshole. So he's like Bill Maher to me.
Yeah, I liked Bill Maher because he was an asshole to people I hated, and then that changed.
Well, yeah, no, but this is the thing with Bill Maher. As he's gotten older, he's gotten crazier. I also wanted to share with you. Okay, so then there's the thing I called this segment for the Tale of Two Campaigns.
Okay,
dude, you got to see this. This had me cracking up. No, not that. Let's see. Go back to Adam Kinzinger. Okay, I need to come out of here. We're going to do Kamala Harris's first, and these are about a minute each, so I just ask you to be patient.
I'm very patient.
2024 campaign ads.
For most of my childhood, we were renters. My mother saved for well over a decade to buy a home. I was a teenager when that day finally came, and I can remember so well how excited she was. I know what home ownership means, and sadly right now it is out of reach for far too many American families. During the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big banks who exploited people in the housing market. And today, corporate landlords buy hundreds of houses and apartments, then turn them around and rent them out at extremely high prices. I will fight for a law that cracks down on these practices. We will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that We should be doing everything we can to make it more affordable to buy a home, not less. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Okay, so
Positive messaging. Positive messaging gets people moving.
Okay, so okay. I thought you were gonna have something to say. Okay.
Fuck no. Look, Republicans are finally failing on what they should have been failing at, which is negative messaging. Nobody wants to get behind, we're going to keep them away from your stuff, but people love to get behind positive messaging, like we're going to help you do X, Y, and Z.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. No, and I agree.
They have nothing to offer, man. I'm just glad the DNC is finally offering something.
Well, and you're right. And I agree with you. Kamala Harris is kind of going more towards the center, and I don't blame her because she saw what tanked her campaign the last time. And I'm sorry, I gotta agree with the sister. You gotta play the game. I'm sorry. We have, because first of all, like Obama said about Hillary Clinton. Whatever he did, she had to do it backwards, like Ginger Rogers. She had to do everything backwards. Kamala Harris has to do everything backwards, plus on her hands upside down. And I'm sorry, because even the attacks, like they're attacking her on how she speaks. Like they're saying, oh, when she was here, she spoke like this, but when she's over here in this black space,
why they're fumbling. They have two insults ready for her.
The infliction of her voice change. Well, first of all, when I want Black people, my voice does change because we go into our space where we talk African American vernacular English. Everybody code switches. Maybe not white people as much, but people of color, we always have to code switch.
Man, some people I know, it meant you get them, and it's happened to me. I am very guilty of this, and I want everybody to know that sometimes you get me a little liquored up, and I sound like I'm right out of the Emerald Isle. Like it's really embarrassing. But you want to see some whiteies code switch, get a couple Irish people drunk, and they're it's gonna happen, bro. But yeah, they only have two insults ready for Kamala Harris, and one is about her being a woman, and the other is about her race. And since those insults are so ready to be said that there's nothing else can get, they can't piece anything together.
Yeah, no, they've been having a hard time attacking her. I was reading The Economist. They were saying, is the Trump campaign, smear campaign against Kamala working? I was like, this is The Economist. The Economist is a center-right tabloid news, and I like The Economist. Don't get me wrong, but I know it's a center-right magazine. That they, most of their writers, they write from a conservative viewpoint, but I do like some of the writing because they're English. It's a European-based. European
publication or whatever.
Yeah, let's go ahead and listen to Donald Trump's campaign ad.
Yes,
this is Donald Trump, hopefully your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln, better than Washington, with an important announcement to make. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. They're called Trump Digital Trading Cards.
Get them while they're hot!
Trading cards are $99, which doesn't sound like very much for what we're getting. These cards feature some of the really incredible artwork pertaining to my life and my career. It's been very exciting. Buy one and you will join a very exclusive community. It's my community. And I think it's something you're going to like, and you're going to like it a lot. Each card comes with an automatic chance to win amazing prizes like dinner with me. I don't know if that's an amazing prize, but it's what we get. Or golf with you and a group of your friends at one of my beautiful golf courses, and they are beautiful. We're doing a lot. Oh, and remember, Christmas is coming, and this makes a great Christmas gift.
Okay, you know what?
I was wrong. They have positive messaging. I was so wrong. He's got us, baby. He's got us. I was so wrong.
Real. No, when there was an end piece, and that didn't show the end piece. He also, the suit he was in, that when he was almost quote unquote assassinated.
Yeah.
If you pay an extra fee, they will cut a slice of it off when they
of his ear.
Yeah. The grift, dude. The grift is real.
I want a chunk. I want a little ear. I want a little Trump chunk.
My man, the Trump grift nuggets is real. It's a
oh
real
my God.
grift.
That, you know what? It was almost worth his presidency just for that. Fuck me. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, it's not. Never
His
worth the
thumbs up.
presidency.
He was doing Buddy
Oh,
Christ.
yeah. Well, but if you look at the pictures, he's all slim and stuff. Now
Oh, he
we know
looks
that's
great.
and he looks younger. It's like, bro,
He's
you
the
haven't looked like
astronaut
that since
with
the
like
90s.
Apollo 45. Dude, it's funny. AI is very creative.
My bad. I just wanted you. What did you think of the two campaign ads? I call
I
it the
mean,
two
the obvious. I mean, it's obvious. One is policy. Not only that is it's a policy ad, which is rare to see, but it's one you can get behind. Oh my
Yeah.
God! And the other one, in fairness, after my rant about positive and negative messaging, is technically positive messaging because he is offering something for sale that one perhaps might want. But I mean, as far as like, I don't understand. I can see somebody from the center or possibly center right getting moved by that Kamala Harris ad, especially if the only other campaign material they've been exposed to is the NFTs from Donnie. That could, I mean, that will legit sway folks, and yay for that.
Yeah, no, man, it's breaking news, dude! Breaking news: the father of the Georgia school shooter suspect has been arrested and faces several charges.
Such as, I'm curious to know.
That's what I'm looking up, and this is from CNN. Father of the mass shooter suspect. His name is Colt Gray, a 14-year-old.
Of course it is. That's actually a legit cool guy name.
With the AR style. I know, actually it is, but I wouldn't want to name my kid Colt now.
That'd be like, who was it? Jason Scarn in The Office, versus Colt Gray.
Well, and he injured 9 more people who were hospitalized. One source told CNN the AR-15 style rifle was purchased at a local gun store as a Christmas present. It's always these damn people make Christmas presents. Give them a book. The timeline of the teen's father, Colin Gray, provided to authorities would put the gun purchase months after authorities first contacted Gray and his family to investigate a school shooting threats made online. So this is when they first went to this is after they went to the school, after the FBI went to the school and said, hey, your son's making threats. Do you guys have guns? What kind of guns do you guys have? And I guess the son had said the type of gun he was going to use. The Jackson County Sheriff Office in Georgia closed the investigation because the tip about the threats cannot be substantiated. That's why. Okay. CNN has made several attempts to reach out to Colin Gray by phone and in person at the family home. Wednesday's mass shooting, which happened just weeks into the school year, was the 45th school shooting so far this year and the deadliest U.S. school shooting since March of 2023.
Since March. Wow, it's been a while.
The massacre at the Covenant School in Nashville that left 6 people dead. While another community grieves another senseless shooting, investigators are revealing more details about the case. The teen suspect left his Algebra 1 class around 9:45 a.m. His classmate, Layla Sareth, I can't pronounce, her name is Layla something, I'm sorry, Layla, told CNN the classroom doors locked automatically. Near the end of class, the suspect knocked on the door to try to come back in, the student said. Another student went to open the door, but apparently saw the gun and refused to let him in. The student said that the diversion may have saved her life. I think he wanted to come to us first. Instead, the shooter turned to a nearby classroom, opened fire. You hear about 10 to 15 rounds back to back. The first report of an active shooter came in around 10:20 a.m. Two school resource officers and another law enforcement quickly arrived. Georgia Bureau of Investigations Director Chris Hawsey said, I heard gunshots outside of my classroom. People screaming, people begging not to get shot, says a 14-year-old another student. I'm not going to name students. Then people sitting beside me were just shaking and crying. One of the school resource officers confronted the shooter, who surrendered, was taken into custody. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith said. The suspect, Colton Gray, is being held Thursday at Gainesville Regional Youth Detention Center. The Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice told CNN he will make his first court appearance on Friday. Department spokesperson said Gray is continuing to cooperate with investigators. Smith told the CNN, oh, here we go. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp called the mass shooting everybody's worst nightmare. Yeah, whatever. But it's a nightmare shared by many Americans across the country. So that's okay.
Yes, Brian. Well, that's a weird admission for him to make.
Yeah. Well,
it's weird to even acknowledge other shootings during a shooting. They never do that.
Well, he has to. Well, because he might as well just say thoughts and prayers.
I mean, yeah, just weird language. I don't mean it's good.
Yeah,
it's odd for him to do that.
Yeah. So far this year, the United States has suffered at least 385 mass shootings, according to the Gun Violence Archive, which defines mass shooting as those in which 4 or more victims are shot. That's an average of 1.5 mass shootings every day.
We have so many shootings, we have to designate which are, we have heights.
Yeah, no. The two 14-year-old students, Christian, and I'm going to name their names, Christian Anguillo and Mason Shimmerhorn, went to school and never came home. That breaks my heart. The shooter also killed 53-year-old math teacher, Christina Emery, and 39-year-old math teacher and assistant football coach, Richard Aspinwall. This breaks my heart. Oh my God, this makes you want to cry. We are truly heartbroken. Christian's older sister, Lizette Anguillo, posted on GoFundMe page to support the family. He was a very good kid, very sweet, so caring. He was loved by so many. Another verified, dude, this make me cry.
Yeah, don't.
GoFundMe page. I know.
You're just absorbing pain right now. Do you want to read some Gaza statistics? You're not going to feel much better.
The beloved football coach, to our beloved defensive coordinator, Ricky Aspinwall, we will carry you heavy in our hearts. We love you, coach. Oh God.
Yes. Do you think it's good? Cut it out, Ken, for your own mental health.
No, I got to finish reading.
Oh my God.
Appalachian's home football team game Friday has been canceled. The team's opponent posted on Facebook. The other teacher, Imrami, was active in her local Romanian community and church and is being remembered as a hero. We are very sorry that we lost a good soul. In addition to the victims, 9 people hospitalized and injured. Due to injury, these patients are expected to recover, thank God. We don't expect any more fatalities at this time. David Phoenix, one of the teachers injured who was shot in the foot and hip, was immediately concerned about his students. His daughter said on Facebook, yeah, dude, this was, oh my God. Anyway, I was trying to get to the father and what he's being charged with.
It's that what did they say? Every couple of weeks? That's happening every couple of weeks?
1.5 a day.
1.5 a day.
Yeah, so Wednesday was Gray's second day at school. Smith told CNN on Tuesday, Gray left classes early to go to the counselor's office because he was having anxiety. The school's faculty and staff are heroes, Halsey said. The protocols in the school and the system activated today prevented this from being a much larger tragedy. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of them trying to justify it could have been worse.
Yes, what the fuck is that?
It should have never happened. It should have never happened. That's what it
could have been worse. Well, yeah. Exactly. I mean, dude, if he had a grenade, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, man, this should not have happened. Period. And I'm glad the father has been arrested. He needs to be arrested. He had military style, and this is according to the New York Times. He had military style rifle, like the one used in the attack. The father has several guns. I'm sorry. Look, this is my thing with these people. You know, we saw people like when she was getting along with her husband, the one from Colorado, the one that was at the
Bobart.
Bobart, Congresswoman Bobart with her kids with AR-15s, and they were taking a Christmas picture. But this is my question to them: is your kid passing the standardized state test? Can your kid, do a basic algebra? Can they read at their grade level?
I don't think they value any of the answers to those questions. I don't think they value the answers to those questions.
Yeah, well,
that's not their concern.
Buy a book, not a gun, for your minor child.
Why? To wokeify them?
I don't think people. Honestly, I'm at a point.
I don't think they see the value.
My question to you, because you're in the military, do you own a gun?
No.
Why not?
Well, for what?
I'm asking. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know what I would use it for.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, to protect your house
from. There's not. I don't know. The only
because I don't either. I don't believe in them.
I don't like pass judgment on people that do. Like I have my own personal reasons for not owning a gun.
Yeah.
But it's there's nothing in these quarters. If someone's coming through the door, I'm gonna have to go get the gun. I'm closer to the kitchen. I'll get a knife and I'll do my best.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, it's gonna be the same with the gun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best.
No, I don't see the point. I really don't. There's no, you can't tell me owning, people, and they'll say, well, the resource officers at the school say okay, but 4 people still died.
Uvalde.
Yeah.
Uvalde. I don't want to hear about cops. Uvalde.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all saw what y'all do. We're done.
Yeah.
Uvalde.
Yeah.
Move on.
Not all, and you're right, not all the time, but 4 people still died. 4 people left home that day, went to school, and they never returned.
Children.
2 children and 2 children, 2 teachers,
and 2 adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
Who have
educators.
families.
It is.
They have families.
It's a minimum.
Families.
It's if each person's web hits 10 people, it's just the ripples are crazy. It doesn't. It's just.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy that we have answers for, that we are screaming at the people who turn answers into fucking policy, and they're not listening. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Abortion, gun control are monumentally popular. If anybody hears this that isn't from America and doesn't know this, body autonomy and stronger gun enforcement, background checks are monumentally in the high, well above 75 percentages popularity.
Right,
it's more popular than most people's family, those concepts, and we can't get it. We can't even get it in the only way we got it in the news cycle was when somebody dies or when somebody dies.
Yeah.
Either a mother or a child.
Yeah.
Our only answers to infant mortality is more dead infants. Our only answer to school shootings is more guns.
Yeah.
Useless shit. It's useless shit. It's the end of it. It's the start of the late stage capitalism and early stage theocracy, where pray for wealth, because that's the only fucking way you're gonna get it. We'll turn this life into a fucking lottery for you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I want to share what Kamala Harris had to say about it. She was at a campaign stop. She was at a campaign stop yesterday when this happened. Or
it'll be interesting to hear an actual
adult
somber tone.
Yeah.
So before I begin, I do want to say a few words about this tragic shooting that took place this morning in Winder, Georgia. We're still gathering information about what happened, but we know that there were multiple fatalities and injuries. And, our hearts are with all the students, the teachers, and their families, of course. And we are grateful to the first responders and the law enforcement that were on the scene. But this is just a senseless tragedy on top of so many senseless tragedies. And it's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive. It's senseless. It is. We've got to stop it. And we have to end this epidemic of gun violence in our country once and for all. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. So we will continue, of course, to send our prayers and our thoughts to the families and all those who were affected.
So anyway,
I feel those feels.
Of course you do, because you're a human being.
But her sentiments, I think, are genuine. I hope they turn into real policy, and God bless her if she even tries, because it's a fucking uphill battle. It's Sisyphean. So good luck. I wish her all the best.
Yeah, no,
also, when I said we're out here screaming, what I meant was people who scream are out here screaming. I'm not doing shit.
Yeah. No.
But
and
good people are saying the words. She's at least. I don't even have to say at least. She's going to be a breath of fresh air. I'm going to
Well, yeah,
obviously
no,
complain about
you're
policies
right.
here and there, but my God, it'd be nice. Those are the kind of problems I want, is where I'm I'm discussing
Uh,
actual policy and the intricacies of that, and maybe who's affected and how it can be, how the people can be better served. I feel like she's at least going to attempt answers to those questions, where there's just no
Yeah.
chance from anything else.
well, because the other guy doesn't care. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Simply does
Yeah,
not care.
he just doesn't care. But we didn't have a chance to kind of go over the DNC, but I wanted to kind of, Michelle Obama said some things that I think kind of tells us what we should be doing this election season. In the past, anyway, I'm gonna let Michelle Obama say it better. She can.
Please.
Michelle Obama.
I'm here for it.
It's up to us to remember what Kamala's mother told her. Don't just sit around and complain, do something. So if they lie about her, and they will, we've got to do something. If we see a bad poll, and we will, we got to put down that phone and do something. If we start feeling tired, if we start feeling that dread creeping back in, we got to pick ourselves up, throw water on our face, and what?
So I like that she said that. The DNC for me, I think if you watch the DNC, a lot of the things that like the Obama said, the Raphael Warnock, Jasmine Crockett.
Great speech. I really enjoyed Raphael Warnock.
A lot of the because they had a title for every night. There was always there was a title for every night. Everything they did had a title to it. It was everything you got from the Black church.
Did their speeches correspond with their titles? Because the RNC had a lot of trouble with that. Did the speeches correspond with the titles? Yeah, because the RNC failed miserably at that.
I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of those speeches came from they came from the Black church.
Yeah,
they
it had that call and response feel. It's engaging.
Raphael Warnock. I mean, it was funny because I have a lot of friends who are atheists, and they were like, I would go to his church. If I believed in God, I would be at his church.
Atheism has nothing to do with church.
Well, that's what I said.
I have been to boring churches. I have been to entertaining churches. And I have heard I listen to Gregorian chants just to chill. It doesn't matter. Like, there's beauty. The Sistine Chapel is beautiful. I don't care what religion you are. You know what I mean? Or no religion at all. So yeah, I get that. Don't have to believe in God to believe in good messaging.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the call and response.
It's great, and it's organic.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's positive. It's not lock her up. It's yes, we can, and shit like that.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. No.
It's way the energy. It matters.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, and it was sad because the Bass,
Karen Bass,
the differences from the DNC and the RNC.
They're stark.
Yeah. Oh, it was very stark. I mean, just everything was like, what the hell happened here?
Because that's why I made me laugh when you said everything has a theme, because it was Ron Johnson who I think was the Majority Report rated him as the second dumbest senator because Tommy Tuberville showed up. But but Ron Johnson was supposed to give the speech on unity, and the theme of the day was unity, and he was supposed to give the keynote speech about that topic that day. And I guess they put the wrong speech out. Not only the wrong speech, but it was like the most divisive speech ever. It opened with like, the Democrats are trying to kill us. It was hilarious. Yeah, so I'm glad to hear there was such a contrast.
Yeah, no, and then before we wrap it up, because we're about into our little hour, I wanted to share the vast differences.
Look, and you know what I love seeing Michelle Obama's shoulders. I feel like she's been wearing a sleeveless outfit ever since they tried to bag on her for that. It's the same as Barry should be wearing a tan suit everywhere he goes, like, fucking suck it.
Well, because Michelle Obama don't give an F anymore. That's what it is. Because one of the things she said in her speech, she did mention the fact that Donald Trump is afraid of the fact that her and Barack are intelligent, smart.
Right. They've only got one insult ready for them.
Who happen to be Black. He's afraid of those type of people.
We all know what you want to say, Donald. That's why you're tripping over your words, is because you want to say it, bro.
But I wanted to share this little minute and 30 seconds of the differences of these two conventions.
Oh shit, yeah.
The role With a call of the roll of the states.
Delegates, are you ready? Let me hear you.
Iowa, 40 delegates.
Dude, you gotta do it.
We're Iowa. Got a lane dancing, kicking a leg out.
Georgia.
Are people booing?
59 delegates.
Wow, that is.
Another round of shots. DNC, turn out for what? Turn out for what?
That's so great.
Turn out for what?
West Virginia, 32 votes. President Donald J. Trump.
You couldn't even get like the song that says West Virginia.
Party people, come on. TNC, party people, come on. Party people, come on. TNC, party people, come on.
Thank you,
DJs in
Dallas.
the 1930s.
It's time for us to do the right thing, and that is to elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States of America.
So no, I thought that was so funny, and I know you watched the RNC. Thank you, because I was not watching. I couldn't sit back.
There's only one highlight to show.
Huh?
There's only one highlight to show from that.
I'm telling you, man, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad, and I couldn't. Like, I tried the first night. No, I think whatever night I was watching, did you show the Did you the one night I was when they had the anti-immigrant they had their anti-immigrant
like
little placards.
poster boards or whatever?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not watching this.
So,
I'm not watching
it. Just listen to how the speech on unity opens up. This
Okay,
is how
let's hear it.
It's fucked up.
Oh, did you share the what you call it?
Oh, am I not? Is it not? Are you
Let me see. Go to share.
It says you are screen sharing.
Go this. No, go. Yeah, when you go to share, go to the side one.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, go to the side.
Share computer sound.
Yeah. Did you share it?
Yep. There we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Let me know if you got it now.
Yeah, I got
Thank
it.
you.
Right,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Unity.
170 years ago, the Republican Party was born here, founded on the principle of freedom and dedicated to the fight to end slavery. It is an honor and privilege to represent the good, decent, hardworking, and very nice people of Wisconsin in the U.S. Senate. Like most Americans, they believe the purpose of government is to help improve lives, not make them more difficult. Unfortunately, Vice President Harris and President Biden have made our lives less safe and far more expensive.
Unity.
In other words, a lot more difficult. Back in 2008, Joe Biden ran on a ticket promising to, quote, fundamentally transform America, unquote. They weren't joking. That was the Democrats' new radical far-left agenda. Today's Democrat Party is not the party of our parents and grandparents. That party cared about workers and people struggling to get by.
Unity.
Now they are the party of open borders, reckless spending, weaponized government, and weakness on the world stage. This fringe agenda includes biological males competing against girls.
Unity.
And the sexualization and indoctrination of our children. Today's Democrat agenda, their policies, are a clear and present danger to America, to our institutions, our values, and our people.
It's like a Tom Clancy novel.
Democrats have forgotten American families. They have abandoned the hardworking middle class. But with President Trump and Republicans, those forgotten Americans are forgotten no more. Republicans are the party of opportunity, liberty, and prosperity for all. We proved we know how to make life better for all Americans, and we can do it again.
When? Because
With a
was it
secure
your fathers
border,
and grandfathers who were
smaller
Democrats?
government,
Were they doing it better?
less
Doesn't
regulation,
make sense, Ron.
and lower taxes. Republicans understand that Americans don't
Wait, you
want
mean your
welfare.
great-grandfather? Because
They
that's
want work.
problematic, Ron, with what you said about the
They
Civil
don't want
War.
woke equity. They want God-given equality. They want the promise of our founding documents, the right to pursue happiness.
Where is
That's
that?
what Republicans will deliver.
The Democrats don't want you to be
We've
happy.
repaired the damage caused by Democrats before, and we will
Anyway,
do
it's,
it again.
You see what I'm saying? Unity.
No, oh yeah. No, I'm glad we won.
Okay.
We will complete the mission President Trump
That's
first
all you need to know.
articulated in
This
2016.
is on the day of unity.
To
This was
make
the speech
America
about
great
unity,
again.
and that's what they
Thank
had
you, and
ready.
God bless.
Was
Yeah.
that fucking goddamn Nazi?
Yeah. Man, I know that was. Look, man, I couldn't. I'm glad you watched it. The only thing I know about Ron Johnson is the time him and Kamala Harris had a debate, and she ate his ass up on the floor of the Senate. She
Well, not
made
the
him
only
look
time he's
so-
had his ass eaten. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, she ate him up. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Donald Trump probably. No, he probably does Donald Trump's actually.
They're in like some weird Ouroboros.
No, look. Now we're getting nasty. It was bad enough we saw the Donald Trump NFT cards. And
There's
that
been a
was-
range of emotions. We have laughed.
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
cried.
man.
We have
Oh my
barfed.
God. Yeah, no, it was good. But anyway, man, I guess that's it for this time. My outro is I found this online. It says, "I won't say goodbye to my friend, but you and I will meet again."
I
That's
like
going to
that.
be it from now on. See you
Okay,
next
I
week,
like
man.
that.